Today, it is all about Terry McLaurHIM. I sit down and talk with him.
And I'm breaking down what makes him special.
And we talking about practice? Practice?
And we got exclusive access to OTAs.
Make sure you're around for the entire show. Julie Donaldson, Logan Paulson, Fred Smoot, Santana Moss, and really Terry McLaurHIM needs no introduction, but we are going to be telling you all about what is it that makes him so great. I chat with him on what he's expecting the upcoming year and
him being one of the best wide receivers in the league.
no argument. So let's get to what makes him the best. Here are his top 3 plays from last season. And we start week 10 against, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. This is play number 3, 41 yards.
Beating the Mississippi State Bulldog, big play Slay right there. You got my respect, T-Lorne.
And he just has a knack for getting behind the defense, tracking that football in the air, man. Such a dynamic football player.
I said it before, man. He don't have to do anything special. Just get the man the ball.
I love the confidence that he has, too, fighting for that. Week 7 against the Packers is play number 2.
And this is against Jair Alexander, one of the best in the league, and he looking up, and that's what I like. I like that edge right there. Tanner said it earlier. He's a dog.
Dog in him, right? Yeah, absolutely. Tracking the football again.
How you doing, Fred?
And the number 1 play, of course, goes when he returned home for the first time to the stadium he grew up in as a little boy, being a fan of the game against the Colts.
Fred, I'm gonna get in front of you on this one. This is what I call living right. You know, we say it all the time. When a guy's living right, it's nothing he does. It's
that
not
goes wrong.
It's bingo, and that's what this dude do. The whole entire game, we talking about get Terry the ball, and what he does when the ball game is on the line, make the play that need to be played.
And that's against one of the top, if not the top DB in the league right there. That ball belongs to me.
Oh, yeah, he is willing that one. Look, he had 17 contested catches last year, 4th most in the NFC, which is why we are making this show about Terry. More on him coming up, though, but it is phase 3 now, and we have to talk about what that means at practice. Time for our mission debrief presented by FedEx, where now meets next.
We got everything we need right here in this huddle, guys. Understand it. We got enough football players around this football game. Now it's on us. It's on how we do those things. We do things the right way. Okay. Any question? All right, Sam. Break it down. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, good job, man. Hey, let's keep getting better, man. Let's use the time we have. Let's keep making each other better, man. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We now are entering phase 3 of OTAs, which means the offense defense going up against each other. Is that correct, Santana?
So that's correct. I mean, now it's time for us to get familiar with the guys across from us and see how can we put the things together that we just learned in the classroom and some of the things we walked through before phase 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's for this time of year, man, they got helmets on now.
Yeah.
We're going at a higher tempo. We're going against the defense. You're not holding. It's not a bag anymore. It's actual stuff. You're getting that first couple days of install in. Kind of an exciting time, I think.
How much of the installs are they actually putting in right now, Fred?
I think they're putting in some stuff. They're putting in the first level of things. They're going over terminology. They're telling you we're going to play this most of the time, but then they're going to put in variations of those things. So right now it's just the bedrock, the foundation.
And so, like, what they'll do is they'll treat this like training camp. They'll have day 1 install, right? Then they go day 2, which will be tomorrow, right? And they'll just kind of go down the list until they get through all 8, 9, 10 installs. And then, like you said, kind of fine tweak those things. Make sure we got the red zone, make sure we got the third down, make sure we got the 2-minute. That situational football, I think, is going to be a bigger priority this offseason.
And then at the same time, they're seeing how much can these guys comprehend? How much can I put in and see who's going to be able to go out there without any mess up? So a lot of guys are getting watched and they don't even know it.
And for the offense this year, too, like, it's a lot different for Eric Bieniemy. And so they're having to learn a whole new offense. And how much are they kind of giving to them at one time? Like, the challenge, the importance of this time right now.
Well, so the way I understand it is they kind of said, hey, we're going to start in phase 2 with install 1, and then they kind of go through the progression, and then they re-hit that again right now.
Yeah.
So this isn't the first time they're touching on it, right? This is kind of the second time in the early offseason that they're hitting on it, and it's always changes a little bit, right? The split T-Dales are a little bit different when the defense is out there, because the coach can say, oh, that's too tight of a split. We need to widen out to make sure we don't give them this false look.
Yep.
Or the running back needs to be here to work the mesh, right? So as the live bullets come, those finer details start showing up, and really it's a beautiful thing to see an offense grow.
So offense is getting a whole new offense, basically a whole new scheme with Eric Bieniemy taking it over. So they're having to learn kind of a new playbook. But the defense, Fred, it's been kind of set. So how much can they get out of practice knowing what they do already?
Well, they know they wasn't perfect last year, so you can only get better. All right, we're gonna get better at the routine things, and that's what Coach Del Rio wants. All right, once you get good at the routine thing, that allows him to make things a little bit more exotic. All right, because he's gonna put stuff on your plate, see can you consume it and spit it back out, and then he says, all right, they are ready to take a little bit more.
And how important is it to make sure these young guys, you get some young guys at some pivotal spots being involved in this defense? How important is that?
I think what they need is repetition. You know, like I know, I need to be in these situations, good and bad, find out how to get out of them, find out what they adjust to, and it's about the communication with the DBs. Yeah. I need to learn how to communicate with my partner, so once we get in that fourth quarter, we won't be second guessing each other.
And then something we could talk about also, you know, the offense is getting everything new, but the defense haven't seen it also. So now they can't just pin their ears back. They have to look forward to something different. So you kind of have the advantage as the offense already. Yeah. You know, not just saying our defense is here and they've been, you know, well grounded and we got everything new on our side. No, I'm showing you something new that you're not going to be able to lock in on and key on and say, oh, I know what they're going to do in this situation because of this formation.
I imagine it keeps you pretty sharp, and there's always somebody winning the practice, offense or defense, and ideally you want to be able to have good competition out there. This is the beginning of that. Talking about being out there, though, we know the media is going to pay attention to who is there, who is not there. How big of a deal? How much do we read into this?
Who cares? Fred voice. Who cares?
Like, it's one of them things you can make a mountain out of molehill, a molehill out of mountain. It's just one of them things. The best thing actually that's being gained from this right now is not on the field. It's off the field. Like it's a difference between a football team and a football family. I talked to the other guys, Gary Clark, the older guys. They told me we had a football family. This is the time they became a family. They got close in the offseason.
Yeah, and I kind of think, I don't know, to me it's different for different guys, right? I think the fact that Montez isn't here, it's not a big deal. Like, he played a ton last year. It'd be nice if he was here for the meetings, but he's going to be ready to go when it's time. If I'm Chase, I kind of want to get on the field and test the knee out, see how it's going. But again, everyone's got their different prerogatives, and I do think the offensive program has changed pretty dramatically. Like, when you talk to coaches now, it's not like, oh, voluntary, mandatory. It's like, it's voluntary. It's straight up voluntary, so they can make the decision on their own.
It'll be mandatory soon enough. So what are they doing on the field? Well, we're going to send you guys on out there to keep a close eye.
Yeah, can't wait.
Time for our Field Pass, brought to you by the Washington Times.
All right, boys, we're out at day 2 of practice. This is the first day practice has been open to the media, so we're bringing you footage out here, obviously. And we got the DBs over here. And I know, Fred, you've just been dreaming about this.
No, Logan, do y'all smell it? There's football in there. There's football in there. You gotta love it. Like, listen, a part of me thought I had a couple more plays when we walked out here.
Just a part of you, right?
Yeah, just to see these guys out here moving around like this, it got my blood flowing. It got me excited, and to see these DBs, aka the dogs, out here moving. Backpedal, I ain't backpedaled in 100 years right now, but it brings back memories on this field.
Sure. And so, like, in this drill, Fred, this is like this, like, backpedal to T-step. Talk about why you're using a T-step, maybe when you would use this technique. You know, just break it down.
You're going to use this most of the game. Most of the game going to be possession routes. This is how you combat possession routes. We're going to backpedal at full speed. We're going to make a T-cut. No wasted motions is what you're looking for coming out the cut. You got to realize, with a guy like Santana Moss running a comeback on you, if I don't get out of this cut fast as I can, that's a catch. And most definitely, if he catches the ball, I still need to be in position to make the tackle. So coming out of this is a small example of how you get that done.
Yeah, and then, like, everyone always says, like, you know, why a T-step? Is there a reason you feel like that?
Yeah, because sometimes you T-step, sometimes you break on the toe of the ball. Like, right now, they're breaking on the toe. All right, but the T-step allows you not to slip and fall. Like, the one thing I cannot do as a defensive back, I cannot slip and fall. Like, we have to be more of cats than dogs. You never see a cat not fall on his feet. That's what DBs are.
Yeah, absolutely, Tana. And then, or Fred, excuse me. And then, so with this type of drill, Tana, like, when you see this, like, when you see a DB that's really dialing in this technique, what does that tell you about what they're doing?
When I'm watching a DB, I'm not caring about no T-step, no toe.
What are you looking at?
I just want to get him running as fast as he can, because, you know, one of the things that I always use to my advantage is I know the route. I'm running at you at a gear that you're not used to being in a back pedal. So when I get you to turn your hips, I got you.
Yeah.
Now you could be the sharpest T-step. You can do all that great. But as long as I got you to turn your hip, I got you because I can get out of my cut faster than you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the quarterback has to be on the same accord because just because I got him for that second, just know he's a professional player also.
Yeah.
So that second, it might not be given. You know, the ball need to be in the air and need to be into my hands. So, but like I say, I never got caught up into what the DB's doing because we all have a job. And as long as he knows what he has to do, I just have to do mine a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things with DBs specifically, right, is like if they can be a little bit faster in the back pedal, if they can decelerate a little bit quicker, it just gives them that edge so they don't have to get out of that comfortable back pedal position too early, right?
Patience is the key to playing being a defense.
I'm pretty sure Fred had a guy too, and you probably saw it in practice a lot, but I remember being a receiver and guys be like, man, he ate that cushion up so fast.
Ate the cushion
and so that
I gotta get up. I gotta open.
And 9 times out of 10, just because I ate your cushion don't mean I'm going by you. You know what I mean? That could just be like, I'm finna get off that. I'm gonna attack you. I want you to open your hips because I might have this clean in cut I want to give you, and you think I'm going outside. So that's something that when I'm watching this drill, they're just doing some of the things that they normally do that you got to be prepared for. Because if you turn those hips, you got to be able to come out of it if that guy snapped down.
And in that patient back pedal, I'm trying not to give away my coverage.
Sure.
You know, because sometimes I can get him to run into my coverage. You think it's man-to-man, this cover 4.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really playing outside leverage on you, trying to force you to my safety. So that's what you want in that back pedal. But like Tanner said, if a guy's attacking that cushion, I have to respect that speed.
Awesome to be watching football. It's obviously be back. What is it? Football season, right, Fred?
You smell it?
It's great to be back out here, and we're going to be bringing more content to you just like this. So make sure you tune in.
Now, it's no secret how big of an impact Terry McLaurin has had on the offense here in Washington. He joins Henry Ellard and Gary Clark as the only players in franchise history to record 3 straight seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards. Terry, you're entering your 5th season. Goes by fast. And you are now the longest tenured player on offense for Washington. Do you realize that?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
No, you were kind of put into a leadership role early on. And I know you said you kind of had to learn to grow into that. But where have you grown mostly as a leader now that you are in just year 5?
Yeah, I think just knowing when to say certain things, trying to hold the standard of what's being said from the coaches. I think that's always been somewhere I've tried to base my my leadership style. But I mean, just becoming more comfortable in who I am and just not being afraid to say what needs to be said. But I'm still not a huge vocal person, but just being able to say things at the right time is something that I've tried to learn a little bit and adapt to.
One of the reasons Terry is one of the best is because he can beat almost any defender. Would that include you?
I don't know, but
Maybe on a player.
all right.
What is the best way if you're going to go up against Terry to try to eliminate him?
You got to call your local preacher and start to pray. You need to live good. Also, you need your defensive line to help you put pressure on his quarterback. But he's one of these players, no matter how close you is and tight to him, he still managed to come down with contested passes. So he's one of those receivers. You better do your homework, but it might not help.
Is that just willpower when it comes to those?
That's heart, willpower, and being a dog.
And that's why he is one of our dogs. Let's now go into break down some of the film with the offensive gurus. Time to go inside the film room, presented by Amino. It pays to be healthy.
Julie, thanks. Tana, it's always fun to be talking about Terry McLaurin, right? Because he's just a heck of a football player. He's got that dog in him. And one of the things he mentioned in his interview is he can beat you from anywhere. And I'm like, that gets me thinking. That gets me excited. Because when I see him lined up here in the slot, I look at what's going on here. And he's lined up against this guy, number 23 on the depth chart. He's listed as their 5th corner, right? So when you get your number 1 receiver on the 5th corner in a man-to-man situation, like that gets me fired up. And he's going to run a nice little in, up, re-stem, hold that space. Tell me what you like about this route, Taylor.
Oh, well, first of all, that's taking candy from a baby, putting a guy on the number 1 guy on the 5th guy. But it's nothing special about it. It's just Terry being Terry. He's a guy that he told you already, I can beat you from anywhere. He just ran a precise route. He got a little stem in there, tried to, slim his leverage down, tried to take over the leverage because he see the guy was a little shade inside, which the guy still stayed the shade inside, but he still beat him to the spot. He know that he had to get over there to the wide side of the field, primarily in between the numbers and the sideline, and the ball's going to get caught.
And it's a subtle thing, Tana, but that vertical stem there on this route holds this guy, keeps the space here really nicely. So you see how he gets nice and vertical there, Tana? That's something you were great at too, right? Vertical, it holds this defender right here, allows him to take that inside leverage, and then like you talked about, he's getting to his landmark, getting to those positions, and just making a heck of a play. Like we're accustomed to seeing that from him.
Yeah, one of the things about being a defensive back, and hats off to Fred Smoot, you can't be wrong or you can't be right all the time.
Right.
So he had to hold him that way to make sure that he wasn't going to give him something to get back out.
Yeah, right, absolutely. And I think so he does that inside, right? And that's when he's going up against kind of the fifth corner like we were talking about. But here he's on a post, and this is one of these sneaky plays that we kind of forget about as the season goes on. But he's going to run a post here, and he makes an excellent adjustment to this football here. Like, I don't know how you catch this football with that guy draped all over your back, Tana, and just really like leaning into this contact.
Yeah.
Like this ball really should be hitting probably somewhere like over here, but it's back and behind. How hard is that to make that play?
Make the quarterback right. That's mind over matter.
Yeah.
Some of the greats make plays like this. He's one of those greats. He's one of those guys that he understands. These balls don't come that often.
Yeah.
So when they get, put them up in the air for me, I got to come down with it. And this is one of those plays right here in a critical game like that game was. He just showed that defensive back, no matter where that ball is on the field, I'm going to track it down. Yeah. You got to take it from
him. And making Taylor Heineke right. And what's that, like Terry's down there somewhere, let me see it. Because really in this quarter's coverage, the ball probably shouldn't be going in because there's a safety right here, there's a corner. But hey, man, he's going to make you right. He's going to make a heck of a play.
When in doubt, throw it to Terry.
That's right, because he'll make you right 9 out of 10 times, right? And we talked about how he can play outside and inside. I want to see EB use him more like this, because here he is against the nickel corner, the third guy in the rotation on a little Zorro route, right? Talk about Zorro route, what you're thinking about here and coming across the field. How would you coach this up?
Well, Zorro is one of those routes. Normally, I would try to show that guy that stem like I'm finna go shallow cross. He did it not. He didn't give him too much of the stem. He just kind of went up to him and did it. But Zorro, I would like to get inside the guy. Show him like I'm going shallow cross to get him to commit. Then act like I'm finna slide out. Now he's going to overcommit and then I'm shooting back out.
He does a little bit of that at the top.
He just gave him a little bit of it, but it's one of those routes that you can really play with someone's mind. And when you show him enough of the shallow cross, you set him up and bait him for the Zorro.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing is he's really fast, Tanner. So watch him. He doesn't need to do a whole bunch because he just runs away from this. And then it goes on the other side, clear all this coverage out, and you get him the ball in space. And I want to see Terry catching the ball in space some more.
I need to see more of these. I need to see Terry with the ball because we know what he can do afterwards, and we need to see him in space because he's one of those guys. You saw the big plays he makes down the field, catching the ball, contested passes. Give him the ball early and often and see what he does then.
Because 4-3 in space is a dangerous thing, and he's physical with the ball in his hands, breaking tackles, running people over. But Tana, I tried. I said, we're going to do a Terry breakdown. I'm not going to put this play on here, but this is my favorite Terry play. So it's going to be on the breakdown, man. So this is that comeback. He's up here, and then him to fight back for this football. 3rd and 9 situation against one of the best corners in the NFL. It doesn't get much better than this.
It's the definition of a dog. This is the guy. Look, it's not gonna be pretty. You might cover me, but when that ball in the air, I'm gonna track it down, and guess whose on it is? It's mine. Terry did this at the most critical time of the game. Saved his quarterback, and he knew he was gonna take a hit after that. He's like, look, at the end of the day, I have to make this play. That's what makes Terry special. Yeah,
and like you said, when you were looking for your wide receiver evaluations, you want that dog. There is nothing more doggish than this right here, fighting through the contact on a badly thrown ball and a gotta-have-it situation, man. That's why we love this guy. That's why we're excited to see what he can be in this EB offense.
The Commanders will be taking camp on the road this summer. Washington will have joint practices with the Ravens in Baltimore on August 15th and 16th, leading up to their preseason game against the Ravens on the 21st. And Fred cannot wait to see his guys in action. It is time for Fred's Fired Up, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the Washington Commanders.
Yes, I am fired up.
Turn it up, Fred.
These guys know I'm fired up. Alan Iverson just said I'm fired up because of practice. Right?
Why'd you fire up?
Well, you know what? Because we're going to practice against the Ravens, and I think it's the best measurement stick we can have.
Okay.
And like Tanner said, I love going to my cousin's house.
Going to Auntie house, baby.
Yes, I am. They refrigerator always full. They backyard got stuff in it, but I'm finna go tear everything down. What did you like about the practices? Because I
hated joint practices. That gets me fired up because it's just like an extra game, Fred. I don't like it all juiced up like that.
Terry, you with me, right?
I'm with him, but I'm with you too.
That's how y'all roll.
I straddle the fence, baby.
No, that ain't what it is. I like to go because I like to go against Joe Flacco at the time. I like to go out there and I like to fight against Anquan Bolden a little bit. Tired of fighting my teammates.
What about fights in practice, Fred?
That's what I like. At the end of the day, we play this sport. It's an aggressive sport. We have fun doing it. So I'm beyond on fighting.
Let you know where you're at, right?
I cannot wait to see the Fighting Harbors of Baltimore. Cannot wait.
Cannot wait?
Can't wait.
We have content for you every single day of the week. Monday, it's a player interview. Tuesday, it's a podcast.
Oh, yes, and it's balls free. Every day.
And if you want to hear the latest, just how boss-free is it? Well, the link is in the description. Wednesdays, a new episode of Command Center. Thursday, Tana has his hot takes.
My hot takes is all White House this week.
You want to tune in for that. And then Friday, Logan's the brave one. He lives in the Commons.
Yeah, this week we got who's the better gadget player, Curtis Samuel or Antonio Gibson?
And it was the Preakness Stakes going up in Baltimore. Of course, a whole bunch of Commanders players up there with their significant others, looking very sharp and dapper, I gotta say. Kendall.
Dapper.
You don't wear socks or sneakers anymore? That's not
That's the style.
That's the style.
I know you've been living in the 80s.
That's how they rock.
That's the
Ankles
style.
out.
I always love the big hats as well. You have to
I feel like you have to wear a hat
you
to
do.
those things.
And you have
Your
to bring the
seersuckers?
tablecloth
I was
jacket.
going to say that jacket, man. That
Very
pleat.
tablecloth.
Would you tablecloth?
It looked like a tablecloth.
They're called
Juice.
seersuckers.
See, that's
Yeah,
nice,
Juice
nice
is
fit there.
always fresh, and his wife Julia.
Yeah,
With the white
Very
pants.
good.
Juice didn't bring the juice though. He just came okay.
Very conservative.
Oh, really?
I like
Very
that.
That's
conservative.
okay for Juice.
All right, Logan.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
Matching
there
the
it is. The baby blue, you can never lose with baby blue on a hot summer day. Me, myself, I would have had more of a peppermint style jacket
Look
on.
at that hat. You like that hat?
Yeah, I think the hat's sharp. The hat's working. Oh, this is the best. I love this. Sam Howell out there.
Howell. Well, we're going to have to work on his style. He is the
straight
quarterback.
brim. It's a straight brim. What is that?
Sam looked like
There's nothing wrong
This
with
look
this
like the
style.
hat that Zoro wore in his
I
last.
was gonna say like
I love her hat.
some kind of warrior.
Her
I
hat, very
love
nice.
her hat.
Yeah,
Her hat's
her
very
hat
nice.
was on point.
And here we go. Happy birthday to our very own London
Wait.
Fletcher.
Oh.
Turned 48.
Oh, that's smooth on there, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. Don't worry about it. That's what you did to love. That's what you did
Hey, London, Logan made you a card, but of course Fred's the one holding
Yeah.
it.
Right. You know, Logan, Fred is kind of narrower than me.
Don't say skinny, London. Don't be saying skinny. Don't say what I am.
He
bro.
trying to hang on to that. He's still skinny. He ain't skinny no more like he used to be,
you're not
London.
fitting
No,
in
I actually
for
look like a football player now. I never looked at him when we played.
You know what, man? It sneaks up on you. They say that time flies, and next thing I know, I'm turning around. And I'm almost close to 50. I'm trying to stay active though. You know, I'm gonna get down to my fighting weight. That's my goal.
Hey man, you know what they say though? 50 now is the old 30. So man, we never getting old, man. You know.
Oh yeah, tired of my guy. I was thoroughly enjoying Logan's critiquing the Preakness outfits of the players. I was like, okay, Logan's gonna give his fashions opinion.
Of my swag.
Logan's looking sharp right now, though, I have to say. He's looking good.
You know what?
Fred can't say much about it.
Since Tana and Logan, since Tana and Fred, or London and Fred, or whoever, gave
We're all messed up now.
Logan some fashions. I noticed, Logan, you've been stepping your game up.
Yeah, there was an ultimatum presented. They can't be on the show anymore if I kept wearing what I was wearing. So I had to switch it up.
Happy birthday,
Happy
friend.
birthday, man.
We can't wait to celebrate with you in person. We hope you had a wonderful time. Of course, he was out on the golf course, and we will save this card, especially for you when you're back up here in Ashburn.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Congratulations, brother. You don't look a day over 70.
London, close the show out for us, will ya?
All right, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time on Command Center.
All right, CeeLo Green.
Hey, I'm whooping your ass, Fred.
Hi, I'm Jeff Dick, Chairman and CEO of Main Street Bank. Every dollar we touch is not our own. Every dollar represents the countless hours spent on the construction site, late nights in the office, time away from family and friends. Remembering this keeps us in touch with what we do and who we do it for. At Main Street Bank, we are honored to be stewards of our clients' dreams, aspirations, and their money. Bank where trust matters and where you matter.
What are y'all guys still doing here? This is not a Marvel movie. We got no extra clips. But if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe to the Commander's YouTube channel. We'll be right there, waiting on you.